Here we're going to launch a new instance now. We're going to choose a Ubuntu server instance, 64-bit. We click on that and we review and launch, and here we now create a key pair for SSHing into. We create a new key pair and we give this key pair a name. We then download this key pair for SSHing into. We can also launch the instance here now. This takes a little while. We can now view our instance and see our instance on our instance dashboard on EC2. We also have our .pem key. We set up our security group here now for the instance as well. When creating the security group, we give it a security group name, description. Also, we have to allow inbound traffic. This is for SSHing. So we go click on the list and we allow all HTTP traffic. And this will be used for SSH, so we can create that and give it a name and description. HTTP. We now have created a security group for the instance. Here now we're going to use puttygen to create a key to log into our instance, and we'll save our private key here using the putty key generator. Just save it on the desktop as AWS private key. Let me save that now. And now we can close puttygen and open up putty configuration and browse for our key that we just created. We put this key in, and here now this is where we log our session into our instance. So you can see there, you can put in the instance, the IP address, and you can open it. This then gives us a puttygen session into our instance that we created on EC2. Here now we use the sudo. Sudo is for user privileges, admin privileges, so we sudo apt-get install Apache 2, and we click Y here now to allow it. We also cd into the var www folder. This is where all the web pages are held. It's the root folder for that. See there now, it wouldn't let me into that folder because we have to install updates first. So now we try that again. We install Apache 2 again. Once that's done now, we can now cd into the var www folder. ls, we can see what's in that folder now. We can see we'll sudo nano the index.html file, so we can actually edit this HTML file. This is the only file in the var www folder. So we can just edit this file. see here the num keys effect don't work as taught. So we can now save that. That's now saved. We'll sudo into the etc init.d Apache. We'll restart Apache 2. This restarts the web server. We can now get our public DNS. This is a link straight to that page we just edited into the var www folder, so we can see now that there's nothing coming up at the minute. So what we have to do is go to our instances. This may take a while sometimes. Our instance is now there, and we can change the security group and allow our HTTP that we security group that we created earlier. This is our inbound HTTP rule. So if I copy and paste that in now, we can see the file I changed in the var www folder. We can also allow and allocate an elastic IP address, which we have just done. So we can use this address instead of that long public DNS name. So this, we're assigning this and associating it to our instance that we have running. So now if we go to 54.72.173.33, we will get straight to our instance. As you can see here, this also works. In this video here, we can see the two instances I have set up. Here's the IP addresses of both servers, server number 1 and server number 2, both on their respective IP addresses, which are elastic. Here now we're going to create a load balancer. Here now we have to give the load balancer its name. I'm going to call it load balancer CA485 and create the load balancer inside that instance. Everything else, all the settings there should be okay. And configure health check there, and we can continue on past that. And we set the security group for both the instances. So here now we add instance to load balancer, so we select both the instances and we create the load balancer for both these instances. The next thing we have to do is close that, and we go to the browser then. We copy the DNS name, and we can see then that the load balancer, if we keep refreshing this page, we can see it goes through both servers and balances it evenly. Here now you can see we're creating a new bucket in S3. We call the bucket Cloud Bucket. Okay, we have to rename the bucket. Cloud Bucket 123 create. Okay, we still have an error. Okay, so I'll call Cloud Bucket 123 Robert. Create the bucket. Okay, that bucket is fine. Now we are going to go into that bucket and upload our files. Here we are going to drag in all of our files, including CSS, JavaScript, HTML files, everything. And once that's done, then we'll go into properties and we'll allow the static web hosting. So we'll enable web hosting here, and we will call the index document index.html as in the files. We will save that. Now we have to choose all the files, and the reason for this is we have to make all the files public so we don't get an access forbidden message. Now we can go onto the cloud bucket and we can see the page. We create another bucket now. We'll call this cloud bucket 456 Robert, and we will create that bucket. Here we do not enable web hosting, and we save that even though it's already the same setting. We go into the bucket here and we upload. This time we upload just the CSS, JavaScript and the images. We don't upload the HTML. We upload that. Once again, when that's done, we make them all public. Now we go to CloudFront, and this is where we have to go to CloudFront now and create distribution. Web distribution, click continue. Then we choose the bucket 456, the one that we just had the JavaScript, CSS and images in, and we then create that distribution. That distribution is now created.